for this very short press conference of Prime Minister Sipilä and the Chief Brexit Negotiator on EU side, Mr. Barnier. Prime Minister, please.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Michel, for coming in Finland and taking care of this very difficult process, and because there is a full trust of what you are doing in the process, we can concentrate to the other things, more positive things in our negotiations and discussions. We discussed today about the process and where we are in the process and what are the top priority for Finland. First priority is to keep the unity in the process. Trade is number 2, and security is number 3. And then we have one special question about aviation, and we discussed about this issue also, which is solved until now, but of course there is a process to go also to the end. There are still difficult questions open, like the Irish question, but Michel, you can tell more about the process. Floor is yours, Michel.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. 5 minutes. It's a very great pleasure for me to be back in Finland and to meet the Prime Minister Juha Sipilä once again, and to thank you, Juha, for your trust and your support and the very good cooperation between your team and my team every day in Brussels or here in Helsinki. This morning I met with members of the Parliament, the Grand Committee, and three committees of national parliaments. This kind of meetings in each capital for me, week after week, are very important, not only with the Prime Minister, the key ministers of each government, but also with the national parliament. But don't forget that at the end of this process, as far as the future relation with UK is concerned, our future partnership, we will face the obligation of national ratifications in each national parliament by unanimity, the 27 national parliaments, and even regional parliaments. So we have to prepare. It is the reason why this negotiation cannot be secret. It must be transparent, and is transparent for the very beginning, for day one. I met also this morning with the trade unions of Finland and also the business community and the stakeholders. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, on the 19th of March, a few weeks ago, we published a draft withdrawal agreement, 168 paragraphs and articles, and we worked with the UK to put this document in 3 colors, green, yellow, and white, on what we agree and where we disagree. I'm happy to say that we have agreed fully on citizens' rights, including all the Finnish citizens working and living in UK, and we agreed also with the UK on the financial settlement. We have agreed also at that day, in principle, on the terms of a transition period beginning on March 19, next year, 1 year, until the end of 20. But as you know, it's very important to mention that nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. There are still important issues to be discussed, such as governance of the agreement and obviously the border on the island of Ireland. We don't want to rebuild a hard border in Ireland, and at the same time we must find a way to protect the integrity of the single market, which is our common asset. 2 weeks ago, the European Council, including the Prime Minister of Finland, marked a decisive step in the Brexit negotiations. We now have a new set of European Council guidelines, the framework of our future relations with the UK. and we will soon begin discussions with our UK counterparts on these points. We will naturally want as close a relationship as possible, one of your key priorities of Finland. From our point of view, we think that in addition to trade, our partnership should include security, internal and external security, defense and foreign policy, as well as justice, home affairs. It should also include cooperation in other sectors, such as aviation and fisheries, university and research cooperation with UK. But of course, our ambition can only go as far as the UK's red lines. If these red lines change, the EU position can also change. This afternoon, I'm looking forward to meeting the President of Finland, solo minister, as well as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the European Affairs and the Minister of Finance. I will also visit the European Chemical Agency, an essential agency in helping to ensure the correct functioning of the single market, to discuss preparedness for Brexit. And tomorrow morning, very early, I will visit Finnair and Helsinki Airport to learn more about the importance of the aviation industry to Finland. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. And then we have time for one question for Negotiator Barnier, News Agency, AFP, please.
Hello, I would like to ask Mr. Barnier which...
Who are you?
Sorry, I'm Anna Kaufman for AFP News.
Yes, sir. I'm Michel Barnier.
I would like to ask which part of the negotiations or which subject do you see as the most difficult one in order to find a solution for?
The answer depends on what you are speaking about. There is two kind of different negotiations. The first one, which is a precondition, taking into account the wish and the will of the UK itself, it's the separation. And we want to...
The final conditions of Brexit for UK...
Can you repeat this word?
The final conditions or the conditions of UK leaving...
Yes, but we are speaking of an orderly withdrawal, an orderly separation, and not a disorderly separation. So my first goal, the name under the control and respecting the mandate of the European Council and the Parliament, is to succeed from now until October to finalize this negotiation on the basis of this text. We are already agreed on more or less 75 or 80% of this legal text, which is the withdrawal agreement, including an operational solution for Ireland and including an agreement on the governance of this agreement. We are not yet there. And to answer to the question, for this part of the negotiations, the two key elements, and we have to be careful, is to get an agreement on these two issues of the governance and the Irish questions. If we succeed to conclude in October, on the side of this agreement, you will find a text agreed by the head of states and the governments describing the scope of the future relations very precisely. And it will be a second phase to build with the UK the new partnership.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we have to let Mr. Barnier
We can take one more question.
Okay.
If the Prime Minister
Yes.
agrees, yeah?
Yes, sure.
Go ahead.
Bonjour, your French is improving.
My question is, often the devil is in the details. I wonder if in this case the
I agree on this point.
the devil is actually in the border between the Republic and Northern Ireland. Could it be so that this whole deal will be done, or it will go down the toilet because of the agreement on the border or the lack of it?
I'm speaking as a negotiator of the Union, and the name of, under the mandate of the 27 head of states and governments. It's clear that the final agreement of the separation, the orderly withdrawal we are working for, must and will include an operational solution for Ireland. That means that we have to put in this text an operational solution. For the moment, we have put on the table our proposal, which is a backstop solution, which means that for us, a way to solve these questions, no hard border, and respecting at the same time the integrity of the single market, could be through the inclusion of Northern Ireland inside our custom union. This is our proposal. If the UK come in the next few days or few weeks with other solutions, we are ready to study and to work with them. And we are even ready to substitute the new solutions if they solve this double problem, no border and the respect of the integrity of the single market. But we have some months to work with the Brits.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Next time.
Niin, Suomelle on ensinnäkin tärkeää se, että yhtenäisyys säilyy näissä keskusteluissa, tai neuvotteluissa se on hyvin säilynyt tähän saakka. Sitten kauppasopimus, vapaakauppasopimus brittien välillä. Sitten turvallisuusyhteistyö, jossa tuossa kävimme läpi sen tilanteen, niin hänen mielestään siellä on edetty hyvin ja voitaisiin itse asiassa jo sopiakin. Et siellä ollaan hyvin pitkällä jo tässä osuudessa. Sitten meillä on tähän lentoliikenteeseen. Helsinki on tärkeä hubi, kun lennetään Aasiaan, että emme sovi pelkästään EUn ja Britannian välisistä lennoista, vaan myöskin kauttakulkulennoista. Ja tämä on nyt meille tärkeä asia, ja niin kuin hän tuossa kertoi, niin hän vielä vierailee sitten tuolla Helsingin lentoasemalla ja käy tähän liittyviä keskusteluja.
Hyvä, kiitos. Me täytyy varmaan lopettaa, koska muut ministerit odottaa pääministeriä.
No niin, odottaa jo.